Alright, welcome everyone. My name is Paula Phillips, also known as JournalArtista, and I'm going to start with a haul. I got one of my Blue Moon scrapbooking orders. I just had a major spillage, water everywhere, and I still see some under. I got to clean it up under my mat here, damaged. Not like my table isn't damaged enough. Hey, Chai. Okay, so got Blue Moon scrapbooking order. Now this is one I ordered a while ago. Then I, waited to pay postage. I don't know why. It's kind of silly. And but I was so excited to get it today because it's all my new stencils. Hi, Dar. Exactly, Tracy. You watch The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. So I did buy a Brad Pitt pen. It's actually a Pitt artist pen, big brush pen, and this is white. Now, our wonderful friend Barb was the one that enabled all of us to buy the white one because, always in search of a good white pen, and one that is white is a big brush like this is much desired choice. Okay, so I got something dark here in this book. Let's see. Oh! Sorry, I could get excited here. This could be, let's see. Wow, can you even see that? Look at how good that is. Now, it was expensive. It was expensive. It was like $11 or something. But so here it is on just some random blue paint, and that's cheap. That's just craft paint. And there's some color wash or something underneath there, some type of spray, and it's already coming through the white. So this is all Blue Moon. This is a Blue Moon order. We're gonna look more at that later. Okay. So stencils. Mostly I bought Julie Faye Fan Balzer stencils because you know how much I love her. Hi, Deb. Hey, Ashley. Hi, Anita. So she's got all these, this is called mini life strips, and I don't think it's new. I'm not sure if this is a new one or not, because she has a few of them in this type of series. It's really for that, what's everybody doing now? Not a day in the life. What do they call it? Help. Help. Must get white pit, yeah. Jasmine? Project Life. Thanks, Leslie. Good to see you. Hey, Sharon. Yeah, so this one says Yum of Note. It's got some nice chevrons. Awesome. And then the days of the week that are really tiny. But, welcome, Caroline. But it's good, good for archery too. These are 6x6s. I really like arrows, but I like the pattern of it. That's a new one. I also bought this bad boy. Whew. This one is called Mini Chevron Arrows. This one is called Mini Solace. Hi, Lucy Jane. This is Dinah Wakely. I had to have this. Now, I've been waiting for an eye chart. When you wear glasses, this type of stuff, I love it. They have a huge one. She has it in 12 by 12, but I really like, hey, Sherry. I like the 6x6. I thought it was a nice size. Everyone's screen's going black. This is also Dinah Wakely. This one's called Mini Church Windows. I really like that one. We're all about windows and doors. And Patty or P. Sandy. Yeah, so that one's cool. I like that a lot. Good for texture as well as, actually. I don't know why. I don't know if something's... It was weird when I logged into Ustream today, actually. I really like this mini Roman letters, Dinah Wakely. You know, we're all about the letters, and I just think that's going to be an awesome. I have not seen Dinah Wakely's new book yet. I'm hoping to get it in store just because I'm like the instant gratification, but I have to break down and buy it online. Oh, but I love her. Hi, Myrta. So I'm sure it's going to be awesome. This one is mini tiny circles. Oh, I love it for texture. And when they say they're mini, I mean, look at my, like, they're small circles. Hey, Lisa. Dinah Wakely's book is called Art Journal Freedom. This one's called Mini Swatter, not to be confused with this mini fly swatter. They look like tags. But if you see Julie's blog and examples with this, I absolutely love what... I'm sorry, Lucy. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know if it's just Ustream. Mini swatter. But she has some awesome examples with that one. I really like this as mini scallop flowers. I like this one. Oh, JZ. I had to get this. I love the city type stuff, so I know this isn't the latest, but mini cityscape. I don't know if something's going on. And this is mini circle regiment. So if you're ever out of, you know, punchinella, then you can just use, you know, whatnot. Or all of them at the same time. So those are the 6x6s I bought. You know, I end up using 6x6s way more often. I don't, you know, I guess because I work in art journals that are, you know, smaller, but Jen broke Ustream last night. And so for 12x12s, you know, I love this Dinah Wakely one so much that I had to get the 12x12 in the Roman letters as well. Love it. Absolutely love it. Almost Island Girl Paula. Almost Island Girl. I don't get it. What am I missing? What am I missing, Jane? Jean, excuse me. She didn't have, I don't think they had this one in the 6x6, but I love, I mean, anything with triangles, chevrons. This one's called diamonds. Triangles, chevrons. It's called diamonds. Oh boy. I'll be alright. Julie Balzer. Love it. And look at it. I had to get this in 12x12. Oh, let's pet it. Oh, yes. My aunt and uncle do live on Vancouver Island. That is true. And my father lives in Newfoundland, so that's another island. And I could wear a bikini, so that's what I thought you were talking about. Anyways, this one is called Echoes. Love it. Could be flowers, could be water. I don't know. Like, it's just awesome. This one, I really liked this one too. This one's called Celtic Circle. Loved it. I want to get the 6x6 in this one too. Welcome, West Coast Water Rat. And then last but not least, this one is called Grandma's Doily. I just love it. I think it'd be really versatile in 6x6. And what I like about it, because you know, lots of people use, these are all from the Crafters Workshop. You know, when you use a doily, you only get the inside, but this one will look like the doily. Does that make sense? I don't have any doilies around me right now. Oh, we're in Canada. Yeah. So those are the stencilages that I got. And all right, I got only 2 paper pads, only 6x6. This is Beau Bunny C'est La Vie. Oh, you know, I saw it online, and I'm telling you, it's way nicer in person. Way cooler in person. So, there's some, if you can see. Ta-da. Ooh, that's my news. Some chevron, some music paper, all different, you know, splotches. Splotches. They're not splotches. Patches. That's what I was thinking. Hey, Mickey. This is a stripe, but the stripe has some very faint, almost like, sorry for the shadow there, almost like crowns in it. This is an alphabet with random stuff. This is one that has like a bicycle. Excuse me, it's a, I don't know what it is. I thought it was a clock. A calendar? Blue, green? Oh, anyway. And we got some purple. I love this. Look at this bad boy. Ooh, love that. And this stripe has like book page type stuff in it. And these, and the colors, I'm telling, the colors are really nice, absolutely. The dress forms, and all the dress forms have collages in them. That's so nice. And then come on back. Oh no, that's a different type chevron. And some circles that have script and music. And this is like a advertisements from a newspaper. And then we're back to the start. So you get 3 sheets in this of each one. It's like for $4.99. It's pretty cool. And then I got the Far and Away by Teresa Collins, 6x6. I like Teresa Collins, especially when she does travel stuff. So really nice. There's words in the back of that. Yeah, sorry guys that it's bad. Some people are getting. Oh, it's this paper is double-sided. The Beau Bunny was not, but this paper has like kind of a plainer print on the other side. I like this one. Can cut it up for small things. Some maps of North and South America. Oh, there was a grid on the back of that one. That one has, and then there's Europe on the other side. Some old letters. Some things to cut out if you want. I like this. It's like tape, but it's maps. That's a cool idea. That's good design. This one hurts your eyes. My camera probably won't even focus on it. Look at that bad. Oh, that's craziness. That's one of those ones that make your eyes cross. Nice words on the back though. And then this is. Now, you could cut each one of these out, which might be, wow, that could be rough, but it would be fun. And then you're back to the start. So you get 3 of each one, I think, or 2, 3. So again, you get 3 of each design. So Teresa Collins, Far and Away, and Bo Bunny, C'est La Vie. So speaking of Bo Bunny, I just absolutely had to have, you know, like life or death had to have these stamps. So they're called wall-to-wall texture stamps. Oh no, they're all different. These are texture stamps. So this one is called, yeah, wall-to-wall texture stamps. Oh, so this is like wood grain. Oh, sorry. And then brick. And then stone. So against my hand, you know, these ones are, get out the ruler, you know, 3 inches, so it's perfect for, this is 3.5 by 2.5, so it's good for ATCs. And they're cheap. How much were they? I think Jess probably knows. Like $3 or something? Maybe $3.50? I thought they were pretty cheap. Oh no, yeah, this is like classic. Like, you, no matter, like, the trends come and go, whatnot, but these will never. This one's called It Is Written. So you got some numbers. They're all separate. These numbers, an ampersand. And this is, what does it say? Something in a different language. French. Hey, Margot. These are all from Blue Moon Scrapbooking. Rue, couple things when you have clear stamps. Some people use an eraser, but if you're having problems getting a full coverage, I take a very fine sandpaper and just lightly buff it. You may think that's bad, but what you're just giving it tooth. You're not hurting the stamp or whatnot. You're just giving it slightly tooth, a little bit of tooth. I'm not talking heavy grade. Don't email me. You know, I'm just talking, like, do you have one of those these type of sanding blocks? Very, very fine. But lots of people do use erasers. But if you use an eraser, you kind of have to do it every time. That's what I do. Now, also, if you have clear stamps or any type of unmounted stamps, if you're stamping on a block, the best thing you can do is get yourself a mouse pad, or this is an old push pad from Scrapworks, but some type of foam underneath. So, you know, a lot of people forget that when you have a regular mounted stamp, you have wood, foam, or cushion, and rubber. So you need that cushion. I was going to say something really bad. But look, I almost tipped it over again. Yeah, so if you put your paper on top of this, you'd be stamping, right? You'd have your paper, and that gives it a little bit of cushion. Yeah, a very fine nail file. Exactly, Sherry. It's a good idea. All right. This one is called Distressed Texture Stamps, also by Bo Bunny. So we've got a chicken wire. It's corrugate. That's like the inside of the corrugation. Some dots and just an edge of some type of distress. Love it. I actually, I think it was Tracy that told me about these other stamps. Who makes them, Tracy? That are longer. I got them at, because I had to order my new dilutions at Simon Says Stamp. So I got some of those. They're like longer distress type stamps. I forget who makes them. Anyways, they're coming. And this one is patterns, geometric patterns. So I got a chevron. It looks like chicken wire, but it's different. And this is the inside. Wow, there's major glare. Sorry about that. Ooh, that's cool, Mickey. And it's funny, these are like $3 or $3.50. This one, last one's called stained texture stamps. So gotta have a coffee stain stamp. Life is not complete without one of those. And actually, in the middle here, this one and this one are removable. And then this looks like bubble wrap, and then like a scratchy scratch. Fun. Just put your cup. You can do that too. Or spill water all over the place. I did get this one. I really like this. Is He Said, She Said by Teresa Collins. I really liked that flower. Most of the reason why I bought it. It says a happy thought. There she goes again. There's a little heart. More chevron here. Little journaling little box. And then this, I like this part too. It says Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then you can just check mark it. This is separate than the blurb here. So it says fabulous, so you. I love this girl, so beautiful today. So I like that. He Said, She Said. I absolutely love Pam Carricker. One of my favorite artists as well. And so I did buy one of her stamps. These are made by Stampington. This is Lady Macbeth. And they're not cheap. This one I think was like $8 something. But it's already got your mount. It's got the foam cushion mounting, so but gotta support her, I love her, so I bought that. And I broke down and bought the viewfinder. It's not called a viewfinder. Sherry's gonna get mad at me. They call it a picture pinwheel. So this is just had to get it. It's pretty big. It looks exactly like it. I mean, it's pretty much the size. Oh, it is a viewfinder? Viewmaster. Oh, you know what I mean. Forget what the name is. I also bought the embossing folders, airmail, and compass. I love his new release. And I see that Blue Moon, dare I say it, has the paper, the Paris paper out right now. But love that compass rose. And only a couple more things. I was very selective on the washi tape. Had quite a few. They had quite a few. These are all from Glitz Designs. This says choose happiness. I couldn't resist the one that says choose happiness. So all of the Glitz Design, that one's from Uncharted Waters, the collection Uncharted Waters. This one is from Color Me Happy. Glitz Design Color Me Happy. Hi, Julie. And it's just a nice wood grain. And this one is also Color Me Happy Rainbow Stripe. But I really like that it shows number. That little, it says NO, little number there. So that's it. I shouldn't say that's it. That's what I don't know, but how exciting! I'm excited. Um, so couple announcements. One thing, so a lot of you know I'm losing my job. We Unfortunately, the factory that I work in is being closed. About 150 people are losing their jobs. I've worked for the same company for over 15 years. Since I was 18, you know, right out of high school. I don't have any education other than that. So it's pretty sad. You know, what's interesting though, even though I feel hopeful, um, it's sad because I almost feel like it's my identity, because box making has, you know, I started when I was 16 as a summer student. My father worked there for 38 years. It's the only thing I know, I guess. So there's a couple different things. Obviously, I have to move, which is number one. But so I'm thinking of different ways that I can make money in the short term, interim. Number one is selling my Stampin' Up set. So if you're my friend on Facebook, I posted a list. I have to put on pictures and all that. So I have many retired sets from Stampin' Up. From 2000, between 97 and 2003. Some of them are pretty wanted, apparently. I have this Courage and Honor, it's called, which is a military set that kind of, it's kind of a 9/11, honors 9/11. There's 75 sets up there right now, and I'm telling you, 95, if not 99% of them are not used at all. Mounted, but not used. You know, so I'm obviously going to sell them pretty cheap. There's a couple, lots of people ask me about shipping because they live in Canada. Number one, it's quite possible that I could guilt somebody into crossing the border because I live pretty close to Buffalo, so I can mail from there. It's also possible that I could unmount them for you so that you would just get the rubber, which would be a lot cheaper to ship. So there's lots of things I can work out. Also, what I'm going to be doing is selling, I opened a shop which is like Etsy, but it's called Big Cartel. Big Cartel. Darn it, I should have wrote it down. So on JournalArtista, so what I'm selling are composition books, which could be either covered or uncovered. And what I'll do is the first 2 pages, based on what you ask for, I will be doing a 2-page spread in your journal as a starter. So it's a way to get my art as well as have a starter journal. And you know I love composition journals. And so I want to show you actually what I've been working on. So I think it's journalartista.bigcartel.com. I will have to put it on my blog. I'm also going to be selling books like, you know, I have a lot of retro scrapbook paper. So if you remember this junk journal, which has all my favorite, you know, scrapbooking papers, I'll be selling this type of thing, which will have a cover in different sizes, obviously different widths, and it'll have lots of cool paper in it. And I'll also be selling handmade journals such as this type of thing. And again, the option is whether you want me to art in it or not. And you know, it kind of serves 2 purposes. Not only, you know, to sell some of my supplies or use some of my supplies because I have to move, but anyway, so I'll be selling journals, this type of handmade journal. So this is a travel journal from when I went to Atlanta. I got to meet Dee Dee. So you'll be able to do something like this. You know, I'll make the journal, cover it for you with some nice paper, and that type of thing. So look for that. But anyways, so a couple weeks ago, you saw this particular composition book art journal that I was working on over a year and a half ago. Yeah, I have to move, Nita. And so anyways, I've been doing a lot of work downstairs. So I'm just going to do a quick flip for you. And again, doing it in stages. If big cartel, something cartel. Darn it. It's downstairs. Something cartel. It's an art. It's like Etsy, but it was I forget what it's called. What a bad salesperson I am. Absolutely terrible. It's not Artfire. It's something cartel. But it is an art site too, similar to Artfire or whatever. Anyways, so I was working on this the same way, step by step. Step by step with bringing, papers, then sprays, then it's like an art mafia. Yeah. Oh, I just love this. You see this bird? I like how this goes. It's like a Tim Coffee bird. And some of them aren't complete, so I haven't done like for example this page. I haven't finished. I haven't put a title or any journaling or not. But this is sometimes something that looks like a hot mess, but I kind of like how it turned out. And we worked on this one together. Posted this one on Facebook. These pictures were from a Oprah magazine. This one I'm still working on, adding layers. Same as this. I'm going to use that later. So this is the type, if you get a journal from me, it could be covered or uncovered, so I could do the cover for you with paper, and I'll have, depending on what you like, this is the type of page, it'll be fully done for you. I like this. Some of this stuff I've just been playing with, like I use my, I think it's Big Cartel. Some of them are glued together, some of them aren't, depend on how I felt. Let me ask Simon. I feel bad. What type of seller am I? I'm so terrible. Simon? What's the name of that site again? Yeah, it's Big Cartel. How do you spell cartel? There's not two L's? Yeah, Big Cartel, but only one L, you say. Alright. Okay, sorry about that. So I've been, we did this one online a long time ago, and if you remember, one second. What the devil? Alright, I allowed links. Anyways, so now I'm writing inside those circles, just depending on the day. I like that. Still working on this hot mess, but you know, when I talk about working in layers, there was times where I put paint and then I stamped and then I just took stencils and I looked through the whole thing. Now, I only have these type of things right now, this journal up there, so over the weekend, tomorrow I got to do a lot of work, so I just, you know, don't get all upset. I really like this. So I put this, it's like a horoscope type thing with all the horoscopes from a magazine. This is some old paper, and so I'm just working on some stuff on that one. Still working on this hot mess. So this is, you know, one of those pages where I wrote first and then putting layers on top. But it's so fun. Like, this book is completely full. I was using Anita, it all depends. There's lots of different factors in that, and when, and all that goodness. I'm going to be moving to the other side of Toronto, into probably Whitby. I really like this. So this was this stencil. I know you're seeing some glare on there, but this is whatchamacallit, Artist Seller. And then I use this really old, you know how I love to use the old stuff, rub-ons. I used a whole dang sheet. I love using the sheet. Holding it. So this page, you know, this has been an in progress page for a long time, and finally I used these old stickers. I don't actually, I'm not sure how old they are. I bought them at uh, what's that store called? We don't have it here. Darn it, I forget. Yeah, because that's where my family lives. Hobby Lobby. My goodness, I can't get my mind to work today. So this, Dee Dee sent me this a while ago. No, I think she gave it to me while I was there. It was like a collage printout, and this was a magazine image. So I'm still working on this. Lots of Artist Seller stencils here. But I just liked how she has like a cup of coffee and she's looking over there. And I'm still working on this one. Kind of an animal thing going on. It's all about the color. Still working. But it feels so good. So, you know, when I finish journals, sometimes, you know, I'll call it finished, but there's still a ton of pages left in the back. And this one I am determined to finish. Determined. So we did that one on stream once. Still working on this hot mess, but as I'm adding layers, it just seems to get better and better. Good times. We did that one on a stream a while ago. We also did this one on stream. This one, this says, walk like you have 3 men walking behind you. We did that one on stream once. I'm still working on this. This was from a magazine, but I absolutely loved, you know, her face. And I found this other tree in a magazine, which is like pink and cool, like lit from the back. So I'm working in the colors of purple and blue. So I still have lots of layers to go on that. This one's a hot mess. Sometimes you just have to have a hot mess. Let's just turn the page on that bad boy. Did this one a long time over on Leslie's Ning, which is artjournaling.ning.com. We did this one on stream a long time ago. So this one I've been working on too, and then I got this in the mail. It says cha-ching and Buddy's fishing for money. I thought that was pretty funny because it looked kind of like water, so I'm still working on that back one. I really liked this page, and I found it very hard to, sometimes you do these backgrounds, and it's so hard to put something on top of it. This is one of those pages, but I really like this ad of all these different lipstick colors. Not like I'd ever wear black, but So it says, "Some things tell me I'm into something good." You know that song. Everybody has that in their head now. You're welcome. Still working on this one too. It started with this picture of this girl here that looks like she's in the sunset, and then I'm adding shells and who knows. So I need to add white to it because right now it's not so white. Still working on this. I loved this. Again, I think it was an Oprah magazine. She's holding a perfume bottle. It's kind of like a watercolor little thing, and that's an old Tim Coffey or some type of faux ephemera. Still working on that. This is from a magazine. So one thing, I'm not sure. I hope to wear high heels again sometime with my broken ankle, but it might not be. I'm sorry, Vicky. Welcome, Minders. I like Minders 78 because that means you're the same age as me. So anyways, I really like this one's like leopard print. And the shoes. So sometimes that type of visual stuff I want to hope. And we did this one a long time ago on stream. Still working on this. This is definitely from an Oprah magazine, so she's carrying some feathers. And I found this old thing. And I think it was printed on some type of, like, this is rough. But anyways, I want to cut it so that I can put, let me show you. I'm just going to cut it. It's a transparency, and I've had it for a long time. So I want to glue it so that it's like that, and like that. So I'll be doing that later. Working on this. So these ones are, you'll see that the progression, they're less finished than the rest of them. Still working. How much weight can I lift? Which exercise? Biceps, squatting. I liked this face, and then I found in a magazine some lemons and limes and grapefruit, and I thought it went with the colors. Now this page, we did this a long time ago. Some of you may remember, like 2 years ago type of thing. And I really like this peacock, and then these are peacock feathers. It's actually a necklace. So I tried to figure how to make a moon so that the peacock's looking at the moon. It's not done. Speaking of peacocks, this is a napkin that I have, and this is from Que Sera Sera, I believe. And then I drew one in crayon or something over here. I kind of tried to draw it from what looked like there. Hey, paint much? I'm sorry, guys. Everyone's having a problem. Yeah, Sharon, I asked which one you wanted me, lifting what? Biceps, squatting. Still working on this. What I'm going to do with this, maybe I'll do it tonight, is cover it with paint. And you know that technique that it's the one that I put in the Pages magazine, the cloth, paper, scissors pages, where then I heat it up and wipe it off. So that's why it looks kind of funny. Yeah, but what weightlifting? It could be biceps, could be triceps, could be bench press. There's a million things. So I really like how this is coming out. This is kind of a funky stencil from Artist Seller, but it looks really cool when you use it. This is a random funky looking thing from a magazine. But I really like how this page is. If I'm bench pressing, it's only 20 pounds plus the bar. So 20 pounds plus the bar. Still working on this. There's something. So you can make some really cool things. And then this is where it gets wet, because that's where I just, oh my goodness, it's all wet because it was on my desk when I spilt my water before I started. This is, so there was a point where I put a baby wipe into the art journal, and then I couldn't take it up. So there's actually, this baby wipe is incorporated. It's actually a baby wipe in it. Oh, my pages are wet. So if you remember the last stream I did, I used a jelly plate. I don't know how long ago was that, 2 Saturdays I suppose. I used a jelly plate right into my art journal. And then, oops, sorry. And so I put a tip in, I just taped it in of one of the pages we also did that night. So I can do art not only on these pages, but on that. Oh, my poor journal. I really liked this. I don't know if somebody's seen it. I want to say that it's a like Special K ad where there's all these fish. Here, fishy. Anyways, there's all these blue fish going and purple fish going that way, and one red fish going the other way. So I'm working on the background of that one. I use a Tim Holtz stamp that says changes to give up what you are to become what you could be. I love that stamp. Still working on this page. I mean, I'm still working on it all, but so this one I started. We did a stream about that. I mean, it was long ago, where I started with some junk mail flyers. Let me go over here. I don't know if you can see some of them in the background. More for texture. I know it's hard to see, but oh my! Look, it's warped my poor book. Bad news. So anyways, look how full it is. All the way to the end, my friends. All the way to the last page. So excited about that. That's what I've been working on, mostly downstairs. So tonight I thought, after all that, anybody need a break? My goodness. Whew. So I thought that I would use my new stuff tonight. I'm going to make a, it's still wet here. Excuse me for a second. Not that I should necessarily worry about my table, but it is wood. So I thought that I would use some new stuffs tonight. From the paper to stencils. And I'm going to work on a composition book. To show you what the type of, you know, if you were to purchase one from me, what it would be like. Hold on, I think we need to. Again, I apologize for crazy whatever's going on. Oh, I didn't even tweet. That's so bad news. All of that, and I didn't even let anybody know I was here. Yeah, no, I know, Kathy. It's just, it's sad. Okay, so I'm gonna add some gesso to this first. So it's so good to see everybody. Like I said last week, oh my goodness. I went back to work for one day And then that night, I'm like, oh, I'll go to the gym. You know when you start feeling like you're getting the flu and you feel heavy, like the weight's coming from your shoulders down, like you feel that heaviness. I'm like, I'll go to the gym anyways. And then as soon as I got back, um, back from the gym, I started getting a fever, and that was it. Put me on my butt, literally in bed for 2 days. Brutal. Um, so then that turned into like a sinus infection. So I apologize for last Saturday because you would not want to hear me hacking and sniffling, and it was brutal. So I still have a tiny bit of sniffles, so if you hear that, I apologize. And then Wednesday, you know, it's a hard decision to know what to do when you've worked one place for your entire life. So I have, been updating my resume and just trying to figure out what we're gonna do. I think I said the other week, I told Simon I'd be a really good housewife. Um, he told me right where to go. That's pretty much it. Oh no. Wouldn't that be awesome, Darcy? If they offer me a job in, in head office. But it's all going to work out. I feel very optimistic. It's just, it's a very sad time. It's sad. Our plant has gone through layoffs before and that type of thing, but you're still, it doesn't affect everybody. It only affects maybe 10 people. But when it's an entire plant shutting down, it's a very somber time. Nobody that works there has less than 9 years seniority, so it's tough. But anyway, enough of that sad talk. That's where head office is, my friend. Now, but the problem is, my camera is all wonky. I wonder if I can... Oh, wrong way. Oh, the stress is in not knowing. Like, it's just, I don't know. I don't want to be all Debbie Downer over here, so... It's like losing your identity. That's about the only way I can explain it. Alright, there we go. That's a little bit better. Alright, heat gun. So I just gessoed it. I did use some golden. Everybody buy a lottery ticket? How about I just come and move in with you, Darcy? Okay. So I'm going to be doing that, clear my throat quite a bit. So Dee Dee's house is bigger. All right. What color should we use tonight? Let's see. Trying to find the blue. Oh, that's bad news. Sorry. There goes all that stuff. Okay, I'm gonna start with blue. Hey, Jen. So this is Basics, Liquitex Basics in Cerulean Blue Hue. One of my favorite colors, for sure. So I'm going to do a multi-layer stencil going on. I am so sorry. I wish I knew how to fix what's going on with the stream. But it's, I don't know if YouTube's overloaded, or Ustream's overloaded tonight for some reason. I'm not sure why I put so much paint on one side and not so much on the other side. It's kind of silly. Hi, Vicky. Thank you. All right. The cool thing is I'm looking at a place, a new house that has a nice backyard for the puppies, and so it'll be nice. Okay, oops, not the back. So just for some texture, I just squeeze the pages together. Now, we talk about it all the time, but I know it's important to talk about. Before I wipe paint off, you always, depending on the paint you're using, the time is different. So if you're using craft paint, it dries quicker than student grade, and student grade dries a little bit quicker than artist grade acrylic. So, so right now I'm going to wait a couple of minutes. Not even a couple of minutes, but I'm going to wait a little bit before I wipe it off. Hi, Dale. I am so... What a pain in the... You know what? You can always test it if you want to try to wipe a little bit off. I like the more grungy look, so... Wait a bit. Hi, Di. I think I'm going to use some of this paper. So it's always good if you're going to add some type of element of paper like this. It's always good to, I like to anyways, to match my colors based on the papers I'm using. I might use that stripe or this purple. If you're just coming in, I did do a haul at the beginning of the recording. You can watch a little bit later. This is Beau Bunny. Beau Bunny C'est La Vie. I'm going to use this piece. It's a purplish. Vodka. Vodka for a headache? Well, then you'll have an even bigger headache tomorrow. Alright, so I'm just taking a baby wipe and wiping it back just to add a little bit of texture. Sometimes if you wait too long for the paint, you just have to put your back into it, like I like to say. Hi, Joyceage. Also, sometimes when you're using a highly pigmented color, you always want to flip your baby wipe around. So that you're wiping the paint off rather than spreading it around. And it's all up to you is how much you want to wipe off and what you don't. I'm sorry, Minders. I really like how this is turning out so far. It looks very, when I'm wiping it this way, sometimes I think about direction. So for example, I'm only wiping back and forth and up and down. Hey, Sharon. And that kind of gives you the crosshatch type of look. But, you can wipe off in any direction you want. All right. So I'm going to leave that for a minute. What I'm going to do, I shall say, is this is a 6x6 paper. Yeah, I have a Buddha board. I actually did a Buddha board review on YouTube. I have it up, I think I showed it when I showed my room the other day. It's behind me. It's so cool. So I just put it did this in strips here. I think I'm going to do, I don't worry about the paint drying if I'm gluing something down. Let's see. I like to stagger them a little bit. Alright. Just gonna use a little bit of Scotch Quick Dry. If you're in Canada, they sell them at Chapters, and now they sell them like also smaller versions, like a Game Boy. Do they call them Game Boys anymore? Oh my goodness. So hopefully everyone's had a good couple weeks. To be honest, I just haven't even been keeping up with a lot of what's going on Twitter and stuff. But I've definitely missed you guys, that's for sure. And I've been making lists of things to do and things, whoo! That's exciting, Julie. Oh, that's a great idea, Dale. Or excuse me, Sharon. Sharon gave all of her local art peeps a Buddha board for Christmas. For anyone who doesn't know what a Buddha board is, it's this board that you can use water on, and what happens is when you use a brush to paint on it or write on it, after a little bit it just disappears. Just slowly disappears and you write it on it again. Okay, so there's two options once you glue some type of paper into your journal. If you've used matte medium or soft gel matte, you know, you don't have to worry about it because, you know, your paint will resist it. You could leave it blank, and when you put another layer of paint on, what happens is that it will just sink into the paper. You can't wipe it off. I want to be able to wipe the paint back off, so a couple of options. You can use clear gesso, which is amazing. I definitely suggest you getting some clear gesso. Hey, Mary Beth. You can use soft gel matte, or you can use the matte medium. So soft gel is the one that's the closest, so that's what I'm going to use. And all I'm going to do is just put a little, let me try to find a brush that's, but just a little coat on top. So what's going to happen is that when I put the next layer of paint here, again, it's just not going to sink right in, and I'll be able to wipe it back and get some really cool texture. Now, if I was smart and thinking about this prior, I could have just glued the paper down with the soft gel and I would have had to do this extra step. But you know, that's thinking ahead. So if you're watching, you can do that instead. I like soft gel, so there's always the question on all these different gel mediums. And you know what we always say is, depending, the thicker the paper you're putting down or the item you're putting down, the thicker of medium you need. So soft gel I like to use for anything from tissue paper to scrapbook paper. It'll kind of do it all. And then I'll use heavy gel if I want to glue down something 3D. Our wonderful friend Dee Dee, for magazine images and stuff, uses the matte medium, which is very runny, shall we say. Okay, so now I'm going to dry it. Okay. When you do multiple layers of paint, you know, it's always important to dry in between. Alright, so we used some purple, so I'm going to do a little bit of layer of purple. And the funny, not the funny, the good thing about layering in such a way is that the paint doesn't have to be exactly the color. So I'm actually going to use quinacridone violet. Quinacridone. That's actually, I think it's quinacridone. Brenda? This is golden quinacridone. Ah, sweet goodness. Q violet. Q the violet. So wiping it off on a baby wipe here. So it's going to look pink, but we're, you know, number one, you can't be afraid of covering up something you've already done. And you can see I'm completely covering the scrapbook paper I put down. And number two, you can't be afraid of color, especially when you're doing layers, because, you know, there's going to be some cool things going on top of this afterwards. So if it's slightly different than what you got going on, it'll be okay. Now this is an artist grade acrylic, so it takes much longer to dry. Therefore, you just have to wait longer before you start wiping it off. Now, you don't have to wipe off between every layer if you don't want to. In fact, sometimes it's really cool to have different dark sections before putting on the next layer of paint. But I like to wipe off each layer because that's just what I do, I guess. Quinacridone. Quinacridone. No, I think it's pronounced quinacridone violet. I'll show you here in a second. Yes, Joy says, make up a name. Quinny Violet. Pink cracker. It's actually a purple, but I know my camera. The good news is once I get my severance, I am going to buy a nice computer and new camera, new video camera, so I can provide you guys with a better quality viewage. So let me see. Oh, I think that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use this. This is He Said, She Said from the He Said, She Said by... Hi, Lisa. Good to see you. By Teresa Collins. I'm going to get that ready while this is drying. Which just means I need to find an acrylic block. I'm just moving, so thanks, Lisa. It's good to see you. I'm just moving to the other side. So I live 25-30 minutes outside of Toronto now to the west, and I'll be moving 30 minutes out of Toronto to the east. So it's not too different. These are sticky. Look at this. I saw Packard Eye, and all I saw was Bacardi. I don't know why. Okay, so this baby wipe is pretty much had it. If I started using it to wipe off this purple, what would happen is you just get a smear of the blue. So I should. What I like about, why I do this so much, I mean, I like the look of layers, but there's so many different ways you can do this. Like, I could have put gesso, I normally do, put gesso on the edges of that stuff, and it would have helped it stick out just a little bit more, but that's my third rule. So the first rule, don't worry about covering things up. Second rule, don't be afraid of colors. And third rule, darn it, I forgot after talking about the first two. Don't be afraid to wipe it off. Oh my goodness. Kill myself over here. All right. So, my camera doesn't like red for some crazy reason. Hi, Julie. I hate moving. I absolutely hate moving. Like, all this work I did making my room, now it's got to go all back into boxes. Oh well. Okay, so let's heat gun this bad boy. You know, though, moving gives you the opportunity, or gives me the opportunity to purge. So that's always a good thing. All right. Oh, my black is downstairs. All I have is this one. So I'm going to use some archival ink in black. And I like to use black as while I'm working on these base layers, you know, so that it shows through later on. Oh, this one ink pad might be dry. So you want to use a permanent black ink because I'm going to be putting more layers on top of this. Holy smokers. Wow, that stamp is sticky. This stamp definitely does not need any I'm sorry, Lisa, and everybody else is having a problem. Oh, I know, Tracy. It's and not just art supplies. Like you know, Simon really wants me to sell my party light stuff, my party light vases and such, candle holders. I should have. This stamp is so sticky. I should have washed it first. I'm afraid every time I put it down, it's gonna. You finally bought some Titan Buff? You rep Party Light, Anita? I must say I do like their stuff. I went on a little buying spree of Party Light. Now, how long ago would have that been? Like 5 years ago or 6 years ago? So I don't know if you can see the stamps right now, but I'll show you close up shortly. So a tip is always, you know, you want to stamp off your page, of course, but I always like to, you know, if I have an element like some type of scrapbook paper or book paper or whatever you got going on, I also like to layer it on top of that stuff. All right. It's not going to be sticky for, you know, the entire time. Oh, that one didn't come out very well. That's what happens when I try to stamp and look at the chat at the same time. Alright, went over here. We'll call this done. That is a super sticky stamp. But, you know, when you use archival, like I'll let that ink dry on that stamp and then it'll be fine later. As you see, without some glare. That one's better. Hard to see, I know. So what's important anytime you do any stamping, you want to dry that as well, or else because you don't want it to smear. Okay. I am absolutely dying to use this stencil. So this is one of my new stencils. Be sure to watch the beginning of this if you're just coming in, where I go through my haul. Some awesome new stencils from the Crafters Workshop. Artist Seller also has some new stencils. You just can't get enough. Except Prima. I'm just not interested. I like Prima, but just not their stencils. Ooh, this one is called. Oops, I just ripped it right off. Echoes. So I think I might try trying to think if I want to do it right in the center. Yeah, let's do it in the center. Alright, so I'm going to use this green. This is the red is a quinacridone violet. It's actually a violet, but it just shows up. Look at my hands already. Alright. So this is again is a basics, Liquitex Basics in bright aqua green. You know what else I bought today? Sorry, I had to get excited there for a second. Twilight Breaking Dawn Part 2 DVD. I haven't seen it. I didn't end up going to see it in the theater because I had no one to see it with, and Simon absolutely refused. So I will be up late watching it tonight while I upload pictures of all my stamps. Yeah, Quinny. So again, because you'll be wiping back the paint, don't feel, you know, and just completely cover everything you've done. Now remember to wipe off the very first layer. I think I forgot to say, you have to gesso your page first, or some other type of primer. Could be the matte medium or whatnot. I put out way too much paint. I'll have to put that. Ooh, that's bad news. Some blurage. Okay. So I'm going to take the stencil, lay it down in the middle. And I'm going to take my baby wipe and wipe it off. So we're just wiping inside the stencil. Might have to get a new baby wipe here. Now, as you see, I didn't wait at all. You could wait a little bit if you wanted more of a grungy look. I have the Life of Pi book, but I must admit I never read it. I did not read it. Now, I'm not concerned about making sure that I get every bit of paint out inside of the design. Definitely you could do that, but you know, like I always say, if you intentionally make it messy, it always turns out a little bit better. You don't get disappointed when it doesn't come out exactly perfect. I'm going to take it off. So I just want to blend the edges so that you don't see that hard line of the stencil there. A little bit at the bottom here, so it's not a... Oh, sweet goodness. Right in the paint. Boy, oh boy. It is just one of those nights making a mess. Alright, so I'm going to let this dry for a second over here, then I'll show it to you, because I have a whole bunch of paint right there I need to use up. So of course I'm going to use it in my little leftover journal here. And I'm just putting it on whatever page was happened to be open. There was, looks like there was gesso on this first. Alright. Just gonna get a little piece of wax paper so it doesn't stick, because I still have way more paint. Don't you ever wonder that? Like, what the heck was I doing putting so much paint on? Although I must say it is quite a nice color. Hey Gina? Okay, put that in. Look this up. I'm so glad to have everybody here, even though it's kind of Ustream's been a challenge tonight. It's great to see some newbies as well as some wonderful friends. Okay, let's get back to this. Oh, where am I? There we are. So try not to get too much glare here, but so I'm going for the reverse of the difference. So without the glare, it's hard to. Shamrock shapes. I guess that's coming soon, eh? I do just want to, so I'm just using my baby wipe with a very, using my finger through it so I can get a little bit more detail here, to wipe off some paint where I just think it's a little too heavy. Like, for example, over here. So, nothing says I have to leave the stencil exactly the way it comes out, right? All right. He can. Debbie's here? I didn't see Debbie today. Alright, so next I'm going to take a different stamp. I think, because this pattern paper looks almost like the chicken wire. But it also looks like this geometric one. But the chicken wire is kind of softer. Again, these are Bo Bunny stamps. Love them. Not sticky. Unlike the other ones. Alright, I think this time I'm going to use the vermilion archival ink. Kind of matches the quinacridone in the paper I put down. So this is just for texture. It's also cool because you know, we use black in the first layer of stamping, so it helps differentiate the different rubber stamp designs, shall we say. Who's got a lot of stamps, Jess? All right. Bo Bunny paper. Oh, also Bo Bunny stamps. So I'm taking the black ink pad because you know how I say there's always a time when you need to, or I like to ink the edges. And it's that time. Alright, so I'm going to take a smaller... This is the the Crafters Workshop Mini Solace. And I'm just going to use this spray ink. Let's see, what color? Decisions. So if you remember the one stream I did this, which now I'm going to have to add to because I'm getting the new colors of dilutions. So this is Adirondack sprays and these are the dilutions. So let's see, Purple Twilight might be nice. That's a darker, nice color. London Blue might be nice. What do you guys think? Purple Twilight or London Blue? Well, Anita, I got some good deals on Stampin' Up! Stamps. What do you guys think? You like the purple? I think I like the purple too. Let's find it now. Sorry, color wash. This is both color wash and Adirondack sprays, and this is dilutions. Everybody votes for the purple. Aw, it's good to see you, Mary Beth. Oh, way off screen. Okay. Now, the goal is not to get the entire, or my goal is not to get the entire stencil. You know, because it's for an accent, don't necessarily need the entire design. In fact, I think it looks better if you don't have the entire design. So I'm just going to squeeze that in there. So you see? I'm going to wait for a second here, and then I'll do the Dinah Wakely trick of using the paper towel. I don't like to do it right away because I do like the deeper color. I just love how this looks. I don't know how well you can see it in camera, but it's pretty cool, I must say. If I do say so myself. Can she get any more conceited? All right. So I'm just gonna dab a little bit. You know, another thing that I found that is if you think it's too heavy in a spot, I take my baby wipe and just dab it a little bit. Now, you want a light hand so that it doesn't smear. So if you just, you know, it's a good trick if you've got something that's a little bit too concentrated and you don't want to see it. All right. Oh, me too, Di. I hear ya. Be gone. All right. Oh, I guess I should show you. Here I am sitting here like a... And over here you'll see. So you can see, you know, what's fun is that, say you look at this spot here. You can see the original, where am I here? There's the first flower we put down. You can see the scrapbook paper. You can see every little layer that's going on. Yes, if you scrub, it'll be, could be bad news. Alright, I'm thinking, because I want to add one more element before I put a title on. Let's see. Talking to myself. I want to use a different one of these Bull Bunny stamps. I think I'll use just the... I think I'm going to use this one. Again, this is from the Bull Bunny Stained Textures stamp set. Alright, so this time, I sorry I have to move my journal off to the side here for a second. Name the page Psychedelic Biker Jacket. I don't know what kind of bikers you hang out, Joyce, with Joyce, but I don't know any bikers that would something that looks like that. I don't know about you. Just saying. Alright, I'm gonna go Bouncer. And this is cadmium yellow light hue. So don't get all worked up. You know, we have a fairly dark page, right? So we want to add a little bit of something. So this is just going to be the final layer, and I'm going to use this bouncer to put this on the stamp in a very lightly. So you can see I put most of it off. Now, you will have to wipe it off in between, because what's happening is it's going to pick up a little bit of the color wash there. Oh my goodness, did you hear my stomach growl? That's embarrassing. That's the thing, like, you know, you eat the... Does anyone else? I ate some cereal for dinner. Anytime I eat cereal, I'm always hungry. It's like Chinese food. I'm hungry like an hour later. Alright, I'm just stamping over here. I know I'm off camera. I could do this with white. I could have done this with a lighter blue. You know, maybe I will add some lighter blue. But I think yellow will just make it pop. Just be the nice accent. Dab, dab, dab. Ooh, speaking of feathers. That was one of the things I bought from Simon Says Stamps. Who had the feathers? I think it was Bren showed us on his stream. Whew, had to get him. So anyways, I'm going all out because this will be the last crafty or purchase for a while. So it was the get it while you can kind of mentality. All right. So what do you think? So here's what we got. What it's looking like. If you can see over here. All right. So if you see the entire thing. So I have some. I'll try to get it in without. So I have some yellow paint over here. Yeah, I need the protein. And then I have some over here. Do I need some in the center? Maybe one. Just gotta make sure it's flat. I'm just off stamping too. The fun thing about off stamping is you don't get the whole image, right? You just get nice parts. Now, I'm sure you've heard this before, but very important. If you're using paint on any type of rubber or acrylic stamps, that you clean them. I just use a baby wipe. Sometimes I'll spray water and then use a baby wipe. Get as much of the paint off as possible. Could use a stamp cleaner if you had some, which I do somewhere. But anyway, I have a little bit of yellow paint left over, so of course that means get out this journal to put my sponsor in water here. Sponsors are reusable, so you just want to make sure they're washed and dried, because you know they're not cheap. Okay, got a little bit of paint. I'm just going to take my palette knife, scrape some on. Thanks, ladies. Oh, that's upside down. Oh, sorry, heat gun. Excuse my arm if it's really. Just looking for my white ink pad without moving the camera. So Memory's White is the absolute, in my opinion, best ink pad, white ink pad, but I know other people like others. Okay, so I'm just going to use my itty bitty. This is one Stampin' Up! Set I'm not selling, don't ask. So I'm not going to do a title on this yet because I am going to list this journal on for sale. And that's what I wanted to show you guys tonight is the type of art you will receive if you order a journal from me. And I will, it's up to you if you want me to decorate the cover or not, or add, and so the little white you'll see here. See the white? So it'll be a couple of dollars more to decorate the covers with paper and duct tape. Duct tape, because I like to, whenever I do, like when I covered this journal, I didn't put duct tape on it. Never mind. You know what I mean. We can use duct tape, we can use washi tape. Speaking of washi tape, I want to add a bit to this, but maybe I'll wait till I put a title on. So anyways, anyone have any? Yeah, so if you missed the beginning, I opened up a store. I'm going to use part Etsy and part this new store called Big Cartel. And what I'm selling are composition journals where I will do a 2-page spread for you based on the colors you like, and you know, in the comments you can give me maybe images you like or a theme or you know whatnot. But this is the type of you know, when I say I'm going to do a 2-page spread for you, it'll be pretty cool. Won't just be won't be basic. You'll have my signature multi-layer style. So yeah, there's lots of options. You know, what do they say? Who says that quote? Necessity is the mother of all invention. So unfortunately, you know, when you when you're losing your job, you got to think of all different ways to make money. So and share my art with the world at the same time. So I appreciate everybody being here. I know it's been a longer stream than normal because I showed my haul. Like I said, email me if you want this or visit my JournalArtista.bigcartel.com. And you can have this one or one that you. Can you import me? Like, go to California? Is that what you're saying? Night, Kathy. It was good to see you. See you, everybody, on Twitter and Facebook.